Hello everybody, this is post-commentary for my Dishonored run, which stands at 3411.9, and this was all in all a really good run, so I just wanna do post-commentary for it. Also, the reason why I'm really doing this is because I had a Shadowplay recording instead of my normal local recording, and the Shadowplay didn't record my mic or anything, and this way it's kinda more professional, quote-unquote. But yeah, I got the God Elevator here, which made this a really good intro. Also with the flag jump, there's actually a nice thing you can do where right after you land from the head boost, you just jump again. And that actually lets you get a really nice vault over the flag at the start. Unlike the boat.
Full of surprises, as usual.
And obviously the God's Elevator saves a bit over half a second, about a second, somewhere around there. Hard to estimate exactly how much it saves. It kind of depends on how fast you set it up and how well you react to actually getting it, which can sometimes be difficult if you're not expecting it. You like stand at the top for a little bit before you actually realize, oh yeah, I got it. And I think I'm still one of the only people who actually go around here. It doesn't really matter for anything other than it makes it easier for me to time the drop. And like originally I just started doing it, so I've kept doing it. And here I just drop down when the left assassin warps out. And basically the glitch that let me get up there is the elevator glitch. I assume most people watching this know a little bit about it, but basically any 90-degree corner in the game is broken. There is one pixel on it that lets you climb it. And by just jumping backwards into it, you can climb it. Climb it all the way up until the wall ends. And in this case it was an invisible wall that can make it seem a little bit weird, but works just as well. And the reason why I want to drop down here is to get damaged right as the assassins warp in, and because this is kind of a tutorial for the fighting in the game. You end up skipping the fight by just taking too much damage for the game to handle, I guess. Like, it doesn't want you to die to the assassins here. It just wants you to fight them for a little bit. And yeah, out of this cutscene you hold F into the next one, and that lets you skip the prompt to skip the cutscene pretty much instantly. Saves like a second here and there throughout the run. So there you can see the skip wheel just quickly popping in and out. Prison has a couple of different things you can do here.
This meal comes from a friend.
Climbing on top of the door is pretty much the fastest way. You can also do this weird double elevator here, but it's barely any faster. It's also a lot harder. And as you climb up from the double elevator, you actually end up facing completely the wrong way, so you have to flip your mouse like 180. And that can be difficult, and it's so much easier to drop. But yeah, all of this went pretty well. I think I might have been a little bit slow with one of the elevators, but nothing major. This was a 411.0 prison, which is really good. Could have been, I guess, half a second better. Also with those boxes earlier, there's a lot of different ways to go past them as well. And I still do kind of the older method, which optimally isn't the fastest, but in most cases it's gonna be the fastest. So kind of more consistency. Also, that's what I've been doing, so why change if it's not broken? There I got stuck on something while jumping towards the corpse, and that happened to me earlier as well on these runs. I have no idea what's taking me or making me go stuck there. Got the vault up the railing there. It saves like very little time, but it still saves a little bit. Got the jump on the weapon box, nice. Sometimes you get stuck on the box, especially if I'm rusty. It can happen to me a bunch. Oh nice, I got the Toko. I didn't even remember getting it. Basically you get a vault off of that little box, and then that vault shoots you up high enough to get over the actual wall there with a vault as well. And it saves like a solid half a second or a little more even maybe. Didn't get the train boost or whatever we call it. I think it's supposed to be some kind of speaker there. But basically if you shoot it just at the right spot, it'll drop down, break, and you can get a very, very tiny boost from it. Saves extremely small amount of time. I think it's less than half a second. Like, no matter how good of a boost you get from it. And actually one of the things I was able to beat this record by so much is the new outsider thing. Basically, by spamming jump right before a load screen, you confuse the game. And we believe that instead of warping you to new coordinates for the outsider section when you're waking up from your bed, you stay at the coordinates where you were when you were talking to Piero, because you jumped, and that somehow stops the game from moving you. And then you void out during the start, and then you end up right above the cutscene of where the outsider speaks to you the first time. Optimally it saves about 6.5 seconds or so, but I actually missed the F hold, the ass as we call it, so I didn't save as much time with it as I would have liked, and that's actually one of the bigger mistakes in this run. There's something weird about the ass here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but somehow I managed to miss it. It's probably just whenever I'm scrolling, I'm accidentally somehow hitting one down input as well. Because now scroll wheel up is jump, just to hit this glitch consistently, and scroll wheel down is pickup key, which will also break the F holding. And yeah, right before that load screen I free-scrolled some jumps, and here we are.
Hello, Corva.
And yeah, obviously I wasted a bit more time with that as well, because I didn't see that I wasn't getting it. Kinda missed that first potion actually. Had to go back for it. Or go back for it, meaning I had to turn my camera back. Wasting probably like 0.4 or something with that. And the rest was pretty good here. This ended up being a 9:31 outsider split. And the segment time for it was 3:18, and the best one is 3:16. So lost a bit less than 2 seconds, like a bit over a second and a half.
Well, but
And 1 second out of that was pretty much just not getting the ass, and then the other one was, or the rest of it was just missing that first potion from the chest. Picking up potions from chests in this game is really annoying. Their hitboxes get really, really small if you're not super close to them. It's kind of odd how it works. And from certain angles, the potion doesn't like have a hitbox on parts of it. That's basically the reason why we bind scroll wheel to pick up, just so we can grab all of those potions whenever we're going really fast.
One of those and he ends up burned to a crisp. Everything not controlled by the City Watch is gang territory. There are the real odd birds living on the
I believe, yes, this Campbell was actually gold, which is 214.0.
Take your pick.
And yeah, it's really clean. Got the vault over that. Free pick vaults way more to the right. I'm not sure what that's about. I think it's actually just slower. Here I actually had to wait a bunch because I did all the movement at the start so fast. I had to wait a bunch for that first blink after the wall of light. I had to wait for it because this area is really tight on mana. Like, you need all of these regions. Also here I do a thing that everybody should do. That helps you keep the momentum throughout that jump. Basically you just flick your mouse to the left and then you jump. And it pretty much lets you get some more momentum. Because a lot of times if you just try to keep looking straight, your momentum will sometimes die, sometimes not die. But that, for me at least, seems to make it like 95% consistent at keeping the momentum. And yeah, here I finished with just enough mana, which is perfect.
From the way I hear it, Campbell lived a pretty posh life.
And I got a relatively fast Samuel. I think he could have been a tiny bit faster.
Shouldn't live like barons. Are you ready to go?
But yeah, this was a really solid split. Couldn't have really been faster at all without fucking up my mana. Other than maybe Samuel talking to me like 0.2 faster or something.
Admiral Havelock and Lord Pendleton are in the courtyard. I expect they'll want to congratulate you.
There was some minor goof up here. I'm not exactly sure what it is. We'll see, I guess. I know I had... It might have actually been this run where I actually blinked into the door that I opened to get into the Weepers area. Let's see. But again, it's only about a second slow. Second and a half. Yeah, there. Reason why you wanna blink right after getting that door to open is actually because you're usually stuck there. So that's the reason why you wanna blink right after opening it. I think I might have like not been stuck, and so I ended up like, I don't know, moving a little bit, and that messed my aim up. Or I was just trying to be a bit greedy and aim to the right. The hitbox of the wall is actually really fucking big. It's hard to actually not hit it. Because you kind of want to aim your blink to the right just so you go where you're supposed to be going. But then again, if you aim straight, you can't mess up like that.
You'll have to go the rest of the way on your own.
But yeah, about a second last, otherwise pretty good Weepers. Not sure if there was something really minor other than that.
Them two Pendletons are there, so I'm guessing there'll be a lot of guards. Slackjaw might have some ideas on helping you get inside the cat, if he don't kill you.
And this golden cat was gold.
He and his Bottle Street gang hole up at the old Dunwall.
It's only at 219, so I believe there's a little bit more to cut from that.
I'll lay low, but keep an eye out for you and the little lady you bringing back.
But golden cat is golden cat. It very rarely goes well. Although today I had it go well, like twice in a row, which is pretty amazing. Oh yeah, that thing happened. Didn't really waste time with that though, because you're kind of depending on the region there anyway. But I think I might have wasted just a bit of time by not getting the potion there. All of this went pretty well. One thing here you can always look at is how fast I get the aim, and that was pretty fast. Obviously could be faster, but unless you're a Taz, it's hard to just trust your aim. I get good luck, good menu, didn't fuck around. I don't do the grenades, because this way I feel more comfortable doing that blink, and from what I've tested it doesn't help you at all, like being fast wise. Emily's always stuck for me. We should really find something to make her unstuck, would be amazing. And I've been doing that like free pick route thingy at the end, which actually saves a good chunk of time, which is nice. And yeah, 219.5. Pretty good. Not perfect, but very, very good.
So you did the business, did you, Corvo? I'm not one to speak against my betters.
Almost want to skip through this cutscene, but I want to have this video be clean, so we'll just have to sit through it. I'm always wondering, how did some of these dialogue lines go through? Like the voice actors, the director, the sound people even. Nobody realized that this dialogue is not that great. Kind of surprising.
Young Lady Emily, I'm Callista. I'll be caring for you and schooling you while you're with us.
Pleased to meet you.
As am I. Would you like to see your room in the tower?
Can I see it?
Yes.
Can I see it?
You'll get to see it all. The entirety of the Hound Pits.
Good. I think I'll
The
like it.
intermission after
I'll go with
this
Callista
awkward
Corvo.
cutscene is actually
I'll see you
really
later.
cool, because you have so many blinks. Because for whatever reason, you get a mana refill for this intermission, like right after Golden Cat, and then after this mission, like before Bridge, you also get the mana regen. And that's actually a big part of the routing in general, just figuring out where you get refills, using all of that to your advantage, not wasting mana potions right before you get a refill. But yeah, here, blink, blink, blink in there. And here I was actually so fast that I didn't get the tiny bit of regen that you normally get. But it actually doesn't matter, because you get it before you have to blink to Samuel anyway. So this intermission was really good. Might have been able to be just a tiny bit faster somewhere again, but not by much. Bridge in general went really, really well. It's about 0.7 away from my gold. Yep.
So maybe you haven't visited the bridge before tonight. Something to look out for. See all them lights on the water? That's right. We'll be spotted for sure.
One funny thing about Bridge is that this first area is actually timed. Samuel has to finish talking to you about the lights over the water, or at least get to a certain point in this dialogue, and after that your quest will update. So you can't leave this area until Samuel's done with that dialogue, or gets far enough into it. So yeah, the route is to just blink there, clip through this, and you get a little bit of regen in between the clip and the first blink, and then you just blink there again after you get a regen, and then you wait for the quest to pop up on the top right. And yeah, there's a couple of places where I kind of try to sneak in some regen just to make sure I'll have enough mana for the final blinks, because if you miss a blink with Sokolov, like you don't have enough mana to blink with Sokolov, you lose a lot of time. Normally in the game, if you miss a blink, if you have to skip a blink, you lose about 2 seconds, which is not much at all. But with Sokolov, it gets multiplied by a shit ton because of how slow you go with Sokolov. Also, I'm doing a kind of a different strat here. And that's actually why I didn't gold this, because I got bumped and I crouched and I didn't react to it fast enough. But yeah, I actually figured that doing the older entry route into Sokolov is actually better. Because then you have one more blink to use with Sokolov, so you don't have to walk with Sokolov in your arms at all. And it's faster by about 0.3 seconds, but it still is faster. It's kind of the thing that I realized when I was just thinking about how fucking slow you move when you're holding Sokolov. I haven't actually timed how much it is, but it's a lot slower. So obviously by just using as many blinks during that time period makes those blinks a lot more worth it. And yeah, this was one of the few runs during my grinding that actually got good luck. Luckily, I made the most of it, apparently. So, Lady Boyle was gold. The intermission went pretty well, I think. Let's see if there's any slop. But it's 257.5 Lady Boyle. Mostly because I'm actually using Xerian's segmented Boyle exit strat, which is really nice. It's not really segmented, like you can do it. Yeah, I could have done the first cutscene skip there a bit faster. Other than that, it's fine.
That'll be fun, but not for everybody. You ready?
Could have maybe saved like 0.2 more, 0.3. And yeah, here again you get the mana regen. So you basically have one extra blink there, and the use for it that some people do is clip through the door into the Pendleton cutscene, and that'll like save you a bunch of time. Because you can actually carry over the ass from talking to Sokolov. But I find it really awkward to do while holding F, so I'm not bothering with it. And it's only an ass worth of time, so it's about 0.7 or so, 0.5 maybe. Not worth all the risk, in my opinion. And yeah, I've been starting to do the way that everybody else has been doing the entry to Boyle, because it saves just enough mana that I can actually use Xerian's exit route here. And yeah, obviously I'm just relying on the luck, and I'm not really waiting around to see the marker even.
I hope you enjoyed your evening, sir.
Even when I've been getting bad luck, I've been just doing this exit route just to practice it. Every now and then though, this route kind of fucks up, because sometimes the guard can be in a really bad position. But in those cases you can just roll back to one of the other routes. You just have to realize that you gotta do it there. But yeah, I golded this by 2 seconds, which is really nice.
Losing family gives a man a thirst.
So it went from 259 to 257. I think both were 0.5 as well. And here I actually, this intermission was pretty bad. Like, I get stuck on the boat, which is really weird. And then I should have just ran a little bit longer so I could blink right into Pendleton, but instead I try to blink a bit earlier, and then I get stuck on something right before talking to Pendleton.
Havelock and Martin have already cooked up something more for you. They would like to
And here I think I get stuck on the doorway a little bit. Yeah.
Attention, Dunwall City.
Corvo,
And here I start moving forward a bit too fast, so then I hit something else along the way and actually end up talking to Samuel like half a second slower.
Long past time.
But I probably lost like a second on that intermission.
Oh my.
Maybe even more, which is pretty bad. Maybe like second and a half, 2 seconds even. And in general, Tower was the weakest split. There weren't too many other things other than the intermission. Yeah, there is about 4 seconds to save on this split. Pretty much, actually, like exactly 4. But I do have a really good gold here. So, losing 4 isn't even that bad, but could have kept that time to make this even crazier run.
Point of interest while I'm giving you the grand tour, Corvo. Broadcast control station here, where all them announcements come from, might be worth looking into.
So here at the start, there's actually a couple of different spots where you can do the elevator. The reason why I do mine where I do it is because it's not really slower to set up and it's much more reliable for me. Like it takes maybe half a second longer to get to. There's also a couple of different routes. I think Fribik does a different route on the roof there. Mostly because I guess you can get stuck on something like I just did. And since you're limited with the blink cooldown kind of anyway, it doesn't matter a great deal. There I got stuck on the railing, which is fine, as long as I have the HP to survive the zap. I did the setup thing, which wastes about a little bit of time. I don't always do it, but I guess I just didn't want to mess up that clip. Because getting the clip second try is way slower than just hugging the wall before doing the clip.
Thanks to you, Corvo.
But yeah, this actually wasn't even as bad of a tower as I thought it was. I guess the intermission was the worst part. Then the momentum died in between
Big changes.
when I was entering
Makes me
the area.
to tell the truth. A small fry like me always gets the worst of it. But maybe it's going to be different now. The Lord Regent is gone.
Alright, so I managed to get a 513 flooded.
I'm guessing our work is almost done.
And the first area of flooded was relatively slow.
Me, I think I'll just linger out here if you don't mind.
But this intermission went actually really well.
Congratulations, Corvo.
I got this weird thing where I didn't get any climb up animation, like on the last blink I do up there. Also, some people wait here at the bar to get a regen. I don't, because I'm pretty sure it's slower to wait for that regen than to just do it. Because this blink you would end up doing from the window frame into the room is so short. So it is not worth the wait. Or I think it ends up being about the same if you wait for it or not. And of course, during this cutscene, I'm holding the F key. In order to get that one cutscene skip right at the end of this cutscene. It's about 2 minutes of F holding, I guess, 2.5 or so. And I guess this is a pretty painful place for this commentary track, because there's nothing happening for a good while. But all in all, I'm really satisfied with how this flooded went. The very first area of flooded was kind of slow. Like, I missed the potions a little bit. Also, this cutscene is kind of excruciating whenever you're doing the run, because what ends up happening is that you'll just like kind of psych yourself out really easily, or just get out of the zone. get unfocused because you haven't been playing the game. You have been just holding F for like 2.5 minutes.
I know a great deal, bodyguard. I recognize those marks on your hand. A gift from your friend. The one
And
who
yeah,
talks
after
to you
this
in the
cutscene, my hands were
talks to you when you
pretty
visit his
shaky
shrine.
for the rest of the run.
I visited those shrines
You can
too.
maybe see some
I
of
know
that.
what it felt like to
I'll
shove
point it
flame
out
into your empress.
as we go.
But I don't know you, who you are, and who you fight for. You're a mystery, and I can't allow that.
And I'm also Batman. And yeah, now I can jump backwards into this cutscene, and the F will instantly skip the prompt. I think in that case it only saves like half a second, because there's a delay between when you can actually already start pressing the F key and for when it actually will show up and skip. So this time it only saves like half a second. Alright, so brickless. Pretty sure I did the setup. I pretty much always do the setup. It's a very small time waste. And yeah, there I missed that potion. That's like the biggest mistake of this flooded. Probably like rest of this doesn't have anything other than like general slight shakiness. But yeah, in all honesty, somehow missing that potion made me think that I was already gonna lose time on this. But then Doubted didn't even try to do anything to me, which is good. And that's usually what happens if you move really fast there.
Corvo.
Sometimes he tries to swing his sword, but you can pretty easily dodge him. As long as you don't stay there for a half a second too long, he won't start the pulling bullshit. Pretty good. And here again I hug the wall just to get the setup right. Quick save, quick load into the current, which somehow magically warps you across. And here was actually a little bit tighter on mana than I wanted to be. But it's fine. I just had to wait here a little bit. Not sure where in Flooded I could have actually gotten that mana. Probably during Sloth Dive, maybe. Actually, no, because for Sloth Dive I would already spent a lot of time just waiting for the potion, or grabbing the potion. But yeah, this went alright, like pretty good considering I had to wait for the mana there. There's no real point in waiting for the mana at the clip. Like, you might as well just jump there and then just blink right at the Samuel signal.
Ought to be something to see.
Way better. And just going around and blinking to Samuel signal is a way better idea for anybody who's starting out, or even like everybody who's outside of like top 5 or whatever. Because the clip is like, it's not the hardest clip, but it's not the easiest either. And it only saves time if you like aim it towards the lever a little bit.
This place is where they'd hold up if they had to. Anybody going in has to breach the fort, the gatehouse, and there's only one way to the top.
Yeah, Loyalist was only about a second and a half away from my gold, even though I had to wait for the mana there, so that's fine. And like I said, Flooded was a 513.8 gold. And King Sparrow was about a second and a half away from my gold. The first area goes really well up until the hatch. Actually there I could have blinked a bit faster if I didn't get that weird animation there. Sometimes the thing, like, it forces you to climb the thing in front of you, which is annoying. But a little bit trouble getting into the hatch. And that's about the mistakes here. The rest of this looks really shaky, but I still managed to get all the blinks. The blink on the staircase here could actually be a bit more optimal. Once again, because of the shakes. The shakes, you can see the shakes. And here I missed a key. And that was like a bit over a second lost.
Corvo! I knew you'd come. Is it going to be okay now? Will I be Empress?
I guess missing the key was actually the biggest mistake. But yeah, that was a 147.1 King Sparrow, which is not bad. But you would like to have a 45. So wait, it's actually 2.5 seconds lost. Yeah, that makes more sense. But yeah, this was Dishonored record 3411.9. Have fun beating that.